Good morning. Welcome to the pre-game show. We will get started in 20 minutes. So if you are replaying this video, you can skip ahead to 20 minutes in and we will get started. Good morning, pregame crew. How are y'all doing this morning? It's 420 day. It's April 20th. We will get started in just a second. Thank you for joining us this morning for the pregame show. Pre-game just means that we're trading. The trading day is the game day. So it has nothing to do with GameStop. Of course, we'll cover GameStop if it has a setup. So this is just our pre-market discussion, getting our bearings for the day. I'm Chart Gal Lori. I am part of the Chart Guys community. I am a technical analyst, and we teach technical analysis. We started this pregame show a couple of weeks ago just so we can look at the Fab Four futures, look at commodities, crypto, movers and shakers with either news or technical setups to just get us focused and organized for the day. I like to look at the news in the morning. I scrub it for a couple of hours before I start the show, actually. But I'm scrubbing the news not to just get a direct trade from the news, just to look at the price action. Sometimes news just makes you go look at the chart. So, and sometimes bullish news is not always interpreted bullishly by the price action. So don't get too caught up in what the news is. Let's get uber focused on price action. All right, so this is my chart setup. If you want to take a screenshot right now, and then I'm going to delete it. And this is ES. We're going to get started with SPY. So we have lost, let's zoom out. We have lost the hourly uptrend, as you can see here. So we had the spike down. We popped up, and odds would favor a lower high relative to 41.7150. When you pull back this deep and you go to a lower low, odds favor a lower high. And now we're making a lower low. We have an hourly inside bar. So the hourly inside bar, the support we're approaching right here at 41.36. If we were to break that bearishly, the next target would be 41.31. Below 41.31, we're down at 411.950. Let's zoom out and look at the daily. If the bear volume can subside here, we had some elevated bear volume yesterday, which we know the bears have to bring the volume to bring down price. The price action itself could be a bull flag. However, with a bull flag, we typically see decreasing bear volume on the pullback. So today's volume will be very telling as to what's going on. We have an Apple event today. They're supposed to announce some iPad upgrades and podcast or some type of pod subscription or iPad subscription, I'm not sure. We'll go over the Apple chart, and we have Netflix earnings after hours, LRCX, ISRG earnings after hours. So just be cautious. Don't trade those news events carte blanche and say, okay, I'm going to go long Apple because they're announcing something bullishly. It could be sell the news. So again, we trade price action. And I'm looking for potential bull flag on these larger time frames, but this bear volume has to subside. So on any bounce, I would be looking for a rejection from 41.47. Let's round that to 41.50 area, because we are bouncing into a downtrending exponential moving average, which typically gets rejected. Same concept over here. We bounced, a lower high was expected. On any bounce here, I would expect a lower high relative to 41.6750. So what we can do is look at the 15 chart and say, okay, bulls, get your act together. Get a 15-minute high or low, higher high, and then negate any bear flag potential, and then we could start making our way back up to 41.6725. Odds favor this is a consolidation day, and we stay in that mode. So zooming out on Nasdaq, this could also be a daily bull flag. We have support way down here. The last higher low is down at 1351250. So let's round that, 13,500, which means we have plenty of room for healthy consolidation. Hold that 13,500 and then resume higher. I will be watching volume today. It will tell me everything I need to know. All right, just making sure everybody can hear me. Perfect. We'll keep trucking along. So let's zooming back in on Nasdaq. Same thing applies. We're looking for lower highs on any bounce up here relative to 13933. Let's see if we have an hourly inside bar still. No hourly inside bar, but we're looking for Our support is 13814. Will we get a higher low relative to 13814? Bulls have given themselves enough room. It could happen. Below that, your next support is down at 1378925. And this is Nasdaq. So this is the QQQ futures, which is technology. So whatever happens with Apple today, it'll be announced at 1 p.m. Eastern, so I believe that's 10 a.m. Pacific. Either way, I need to go verify that time, but it could be midday and it could impact QQQ and NASDAQ futures. RTY, same thing, hourly, lower low, lower high, lower low. Now, are we going to negate a bear flag here? We've known that RTY is one of the weaker segments and sectors. 2218 is your resistance, and 2230 support, 2213 and 2211. All right, then if anyone can look up the Apple event and put that in the chat, I'm pretty sure it's 1 p.m. Eastern, but just verify that. We need to know that. It could impact the markets. With the Apple is one of the largest components within Nasdaq. I believe Microsoft is the only larger weighting than Apple. Potential bear flag on Nasdaq, on Dow. Dow is really giving it up here, YM. We have potential. You see this megaphone pattern broadening formation, which means we got bull exhaustion here. Are we getting bear exhaustion here, and will we just have a little weak pop up? Either way, this is pretty bearish. It looks like we're breaking bear from this bear flag. You have support. Let's zoom in at 33761. And I need to go to the hourly. Then down at 33663. So let me say that again. 33761, then 33663 on the Dow. Let's go look at commodities. So, wow, gold was really trucking along this morning, and now we're pulling back pretty hard. We've given ourselves enough room for a higher low relative to 1763.50. Your next support below that, 1761 and 1760. Your resistance after the high overnight of 1776 is way up at 1790. Let me look at the 4 hour. You'll notice I constantly zoom in and out of time frames. I'm looking for context. So we broke to a lower low on the 4 hour, and now we're looking for that lower high. Gold bulls can't be too pleased with that because they were moving along nicely. So oil, we have a potential hourly bear flag forming. So I like to think of it as a dog leg, and maybe that makes sense to me. So we have this little dull angled, so you have the V shape that goes straight up. A bear flag has this dull little angle here where it doesn't have a lot of mojo, and then it just rolls over. And that is the psychology now for oil on the hourly. We are rejecting the underside of this downtrending EMA. 21 EMA is the red line, and that is our mean reversion. So sometimes when we look at these numbers and these lines, we're like, wait, what is that? Think about it. This is the average, the mean. This is where we were typically revert back to. So we went and we touched the mean, and now we're coming back down. We have 15-minute inside bar on oil. The high 63.85 and the low 63.64. Support down at 63.43 and then 63.38. We have oil inventory estimates after hours today at 4:30 Eastern, and we have inventory tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. So overall, I'm really, actually, you could probably see the surprise in my voice when I was preparing this morning. Gold was kind of trucking along with this pop here, and it's really giving a lot back. All right, now crypto. We have the Ethereum ETF that is launching on the TSE today. We have a 30-minute inside bar. Let's see what we got on the hourly. We do not have an inside bar, so let's stay with the 30-minute inside bar. Support 55693, resistance 56358. Your next support, if you were to lose that level, is 54854. So that's right here at 54,854. Your resistance is up at 56,459, then 56,669. We've discussed the frown, and we have the frown overhead with a 50 MA. Let's see if we can zoom out and see it a little better. So the 50 MA has been rejecting price on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's trying to get over that level now. So I'm looking for some crypto volatility. It is the 420 day, which is the Doge day. Let me go over Doge real quick. Let's see. Yeah, I got time. I have time. So Dogecoin, you can see I've traded it a lot. Get this off. So we have a 4-hour inside bar. The support is down at 37.32, so that's 37.3732, resistance 0.42399. So we may get a sell the news on this Dogecoin where we're expecting all this bullishness, and a lot of us have been looking for a cup and handle pattern on larger time frames, but just watch out, don't get caught holding the bag here because we've gone up so far so fast. Resistance 40.40 and 0.403 on shorter term time frame, support 0.3794, 0.377. Ethereum. So Galaxy is the company that's launching the Ethereum ETF in Canada today. So your resistance on the hourly is up at 2201, then 2225, support 2059 and 2054. Overall, crypto's having a moment. And it's always interesting. We started off the day talking about news. What marked the top here? It was that Bitcoin hitting that 1.272 extension we talked about last week. Let me show you. Clear all that out. Fib retrace. Let me do it on the daily, sorry. So we hit that 1.272 extension right here. What was the news that was associated with that technical resistance touch? It was that Turkey's no longer accepting crypto. Is that really the reason we topped out in crypto? Or they banned the use of crypto or something in Turkey? No offense to anyone from Turkey, but it's a very low population country relative to North America and Asia and Europe. So why did, well, I guess Turkey's part of Europe, but anyway, why did it mark the top? It was that we had a technical resistance, and they find a news story to associate with that topping. So just remember that. So overall, with Ethereum, are we just totally breaking down and losing it? No, we have triple daily inside bars on Ethereum. That clear resistance, 2282.60, support 2050. Don't lose your perspective. Look at these charts. Look at Ethereum. 8 EMA. What do we call the 8 EMA when it's holding? That's a trend trade. When price is holding that quicker EMA, we are in a trend trade up. So overall, larger term time frames, we have not lost a lot. All right, looks like chat is getting interesting. Fun times. All right, now let's look at Apple. I'm pulling up Apple because they have that announcement today. Just something to be aware of, and we have this tightening pattern. So do I really care about the announcement? Sure, I use Apple, but I don't care about it from a trading perspective. I care about this tightening pattern and what it means for a trading opportunity. We have a potential for a daily bull flag. We broke bull from the daily bull flag yesterday. So now what can we do with this? Can we have continuation? Overall, NQ is pulling back and Apple is not looking terrible. So our levels on Apple, 135.18, 135.47. Our support is down at 134.12 and then 133.72. So let me mark this chart up. I got lots of messages yesterday. How do I trade the levels that you give us? How do I trade your analysis? Because if I'm not helping you find trades, then what am I doing? So I want to help you find trades, and I want you to find successful trades, but you have to have the patience of Job. I want you to have patience and let the trade come to you. So with Apple, if we have the announcement, and let's say the announcement is right here at 135.40, and then we have bear volume start coming in and we lose the 2-minute uptrend, that would be a place to go short on Apple. If the Apple event happens and we are approaching 134.12, let's say we're right at 134.15, then we have a 2-minute trend change back to the upside. This is the area to go long. This is an area to go short. This is an area to go long. This is an area to go short. So these price zones, and let's round it off, 135.50, if price can't break through that, and so it's two things have to happen. So I'm going to clear that off again. So if we zoom up on the announcement, we approach 135.50, we get a 2-minute trend change and we roll over, that 2-minute lower high becomes your new stop zone, or you can use the 135.50 to give it wiggle room. You enter short. That's how you day trade. these levels and these news when they're coupled together. So it's probably the most important thing I've covered so far today is how to trade the levels. So on Apple support 134.12, let's delete this. If we're coming into 134.12 and we get a 2-minute trend change back to the upside, you go along and you use like 134.10 as your support level. All right, coin. Coin has a super tightening pattern. Of course, this is a new IPO. We have multi-day inside bars. Your resistance today, 34101. Your support, 32679. Okay, options will be launched today on coin. So watch your liquidity, watch your volume. Just because they have options doesn't mean you should trade them. So I will be watching the IV, the high implied volatility. If it's super high premiums, liquidity's bad, spreads bad, I won't touch it. I'll just trade commons, and I trade options every day, but I'm not going to trade it just because they have them. Again, resistance 341.01, support 326.79. I have GS on here just because it is a positive bullish pattern. They got earnings out the way, and if the Apple noise starts impacting Nasdaq, we have to watch for rotation of dollars, and let's find something that's a little bit easier to trade that doesn't have current noise. So 34443 is your resistance, 33660. What does that mean? If price were to come down near 33660, that may be an area to go long if price confirms on shorter term time frames. I like GS to the long side if we can get near a support level and have a better and more conservative risk to reward. IBM had a beat. This is the first time in 2 years that they have had an earnings beat. So let's see what your levels are in pre-market right now. We have 15-minute inside bars, your support 136.25, then 135.62. What we find happen is we get these little bear bobbles and we may resume upward if the earnings bulls can keep going with IBM in that beat. Just because they beat doesn't mean it's going to keep going. So we could find some bull exhaustion. KSU, they had the topping bid from Canadian National Railway. So usually the buying company or the acquiring company, they haven't bought them yet. They're attempting a hostile bid over their Canadian Railway bid, which was at $275. So if we have a bid here at $275 and now we've got an offer up here at $325, that means KSU's fair market value is somewhere between $275 and $325. How do you trade this? If it were to come down to $275, this could be a long opportunity. I wouldn't necessarily short a company that is getting multiple offers to acquire it. I wouldn't say $325 is a natural short. I would be careful up there, but you could get a long opportunity. And also, if you trade correlation names, like Union Pacific, they haven't gotten a bump yet. They don't have pre-market volume, but we may find some correlation trades where other railways get the bullish overhang from this bullish news from KSU. PayPal announced that Venmo will be accepting crypto now. So your next resistance, let's use 270.88, seems to have a little more volume there. Your pre-market support, 265.59 and 263.90. How do you trade these? So our goal is this black area over here. How do I trade what hasn't happened yet using prior price action? You put those levels on your chart and you say, okay, I'm going to go long here, short here. And you're going to wait for price action to confirm at those levels. Wait for price action to confirm at those levels. I hope that I've driven that home today. Tesla had news about here was the news that the autopilot crash. Here's news that Elon said, nope, it wasn't autopilot. The autopilot was turned off. Here's news that the Transportation Safety Board said, we'll be the judge of that. Give us those logs. We had a price target increased to 820 this morning by analysts. So what do you do with all this? Trade price action. You have resistance on Tesla at 708 and 730. You have support down at 707.74 and 701.70. And then finally SPY, let's look at our levels for the day. So I can leave you with those levels. 415.78 is your resistance. You have support down at 412.68 and then a 411.45. Next resistance above 415.78 is 416.74. Let me do this a little bit more clearly and take my time so you have these levels. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, make sure from the 15-minute here and here. Okay, so your supports, actually, your supports 413.29, 412.68, resistance 415.78, and 415.99. We are looking for lower highs on any bounce from SPY. We are looking for lower highs. The question will be, do they give themselves enough room for a higher low? That's it for the pregame show. Chart Guys folks, jump on over to the Chart Guys. Dan will kick us off for the actual opening and get us ready with our next steps of the names that he's watching. It is 420 day. Watch your marijuana names for any bullishness or any selling of the news. And that's it for me. Thank you for joining us, and use stop losses.